so now that these are ready for me to pour the mold, I have my part A and my part B, and this great measuring cup that I found at Amazon. So I'm doing a 1-to-1 part. So what I'll do is, I'm not quite sure how much I'm going to need. I'm going to make a full cup this time. So I'll pour part A in first, pretty pink color, and stick to, I think I'll go 4 to 4. Okay. So once I have part A poured, then I'm ready to pour in my part B. Okay, so once I finish stirring, and it takes a bit of stirring, good arm workout, you want to make sure there's no more pink or blue streaks in your mix. It's a good purple, even purple. So then you're ready to pour into your little mold makers here. So I'm going to start with the buttons, and you just pour very smooth, just enough to get a little coverage, a good coverage on the buttons to make sure that you have a good depth. That's probably a good amount right there. So once you pour these, you're going to want to make sure, and you have time to work with this, you're going to want to make sure that you're getting all the bubbles out. So what you're going to want to do is shake it. Sorry, shaking the whole camera. Try to beat out some of the bubbles that may be caught at the bottom. You can see the bubbles rising to the surface and popping. So you just keep going until you've got all those bubbles out. So I wanted to show you what happens when you don't work at getting those bubbles out. This is the very first of the cinder block molds I made, and it was full of bubbles. That's what all this is. You can see where there was a huge bubble here. There's a bubble in this pillar here. All of these were bubbles sitting in those holes, and so when I try to make cinder blocks with this one, I end up with cinder blocks that don't have the 2 holes going all the way through. And that's not what I want my cinder blocks to look like. I want them to look good. So I still use this to make bricks. They're mainly because if I'm making a cinder block wall, I can still use these bricks for the sides. The sides still look great. And if no one's going to see the center of my cinder block, they won't see the missing pieces. But this is what happens when you don't get all the bubbles out of your mold casting here. This is, there's still a few little bubbles that are coming up slowly, but if you just do a good job of shaking it